Hey friends, Healthy Soul. We are going to make a healthy pad thai. It's gluten-free, vegan, and instead of peanut, we're using almond butter because my son is allergic to peanuts. So almond butter is a great alternative. You can also use any other nut butter that doesn't have peanuts in it. I'm going to be adding some sunflower seeds, maple syrup. I'm going to have green onions, lime for a little bit of zing and a little bit of zest. We're going to have a little salt and coconut aminos, which I shared about earlier. I love coconut aminos. They're a good soy-free alternative to soy sauce. Soy sauce is actually made with wheat, so this has no wheat, so it's gluten-free. Another option is tamari sauce, which is made from soy. But I'm choosing coconut aminos for my pad thai. It gives it a little sweeter flavor, but it also has a really rich kind of soy flavor. And I cooked some brown rice noodles. I like brown rice noodles because they hold together a little better. They're not as sticky as some other gluten-free rice noodles can be. So brown rice noodles I found hold together a little better. They taste more like an authentic noodle, and it isn't as gooey as some rice noodles can be. So what I've done is I have put some peas. They were frozen. I just put them in here with a tablespoon of olive oil. So a tablespoon of olive oil. I like the light taste. I did a tablespoon of the sesame oil. You can add more or less depending on how much you like the flavor of sesame. And I already pre-made the brown rice noodles. And again, you can see they are a little bit more held together than some gluten-free noodles can be. So I cook these. They're cooked through, but they're still a little bit hard because we're going to add them in a minute. We're going to stir. I like my peas to get a little bit brown. So I'm going to turn the heat down because we're getting closer. So I'm going to put it about at a 2 on a low. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to add in my green onions. I've pre-chopped them. I personally like green onions in my pad thai because it's pretty authentic to Asian cooking. And I like the flavor, and I like to kind of put it in and have it cook a little bit, but you could also put it in fresh at the end if that's what you prefer. And I'm going to now add the sauces. So what I do towards the end is I'm going to add the sauce first. So this is a 1/3 cup of coconut aminos, but I added in a tablespoon of maple syrup before I added the rest of the coconut aminos. So I'm going to add that. And I'm going to add, I have 1/2 cup of almond butter, and I'm going to add that in. And again, I turned it down on low because especially with the almond butter, it can start to cook too much. So really at this point you can kind of turn off or put it on low and you stir it together. The almond butter and the coconut aminos kind of thins it out so it's not just a paste. And so I'm just going to stir that pretty good. And now I'm going to add some of our lime, and I'm just going to squeeze it right over the top. And I'm going to add, there we go. And now I'm going to add just probably about a tablespoon of the coconut flakes. And I'm going to turn it up a little tiny bit at this point, and stir it together. And now I'm going to add some noodles. So I'm making this for my family, so I'm going to add a pretty generous helping of noodles. And I'm just going to put it right in here into the sauce. And then stir that together. Getting the noodles coated well with the sauce. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. It doesn't need a ton, but I like it for the flavor. So I'm going to add just a little bit there. And that is all you have to do for that, which again, this is why I really like this recipe, because it's really quick and it's really easy to make, and your family's gonna love it. My kids love it, and I am going to just add them to some bowls. And since my son is 2, I just cut up the noodles a little bit. And add some more here. And that's what I really love about cooking with gluten-free and vegan is, you know, trying to find things that I still enjoy. I've always loved pad thai. So this is a way I can still have pad thai, and maybe it's not exactly the way it was when I was in Thailand, but it's very similar. And so I can still enjoy the flavors, and I can add different things and experiment with different things. I am going to try different nuts on top. Again, you can really use anything that you really desire. You could put bean sprouts on top. I'm going to put a little sunflower seeds on top. And voila!